and welcome everyone to episode 5 of the Hawkeye Spoilercast. It's been a week, forgive me. I had an exceptional Wednesday because what a day. What the gift that kept on giving was that Wednesday. But yeah, so as always, I'm Mitch. You can find me on Twitter at Mitch692, and I'm joined by Sean.
Hey, you can join me on Marvin the Martian on Score 12 for something special, hopefully in January. So subscribe.
Interesting.
Hit me up, man. You might get something nice, titillating.
Is it a big man?
It could be something special.
Is it the Fat Man Engineering or whatever they call it?
I'm trying to work on some maybe go through the studio a little bit, like some
nice.
videos and stuff like that. So there's a lot of logistical tape that I had to go through to get permission to do that. So, but I'm pretty confident that I could maybe in January.
Get me images of that damn board that I know they have that plans everything out. I need to see it.
It's like conspiracy theory looking.
I need to see that board. If I had a bucket list, it's just that.
I don't know if I could fit all of it in frame, but I'll try.
That's fine. You just need a little bit of that board. Just a little bit. I mean, what you could panoramic it.
I can quickly throw my phone in there by accident.
Have it on a string so you can put it under the door.
In there, right?
Yeah. Like, oh, my bad. Yeah, so Hawkeye, the big Yelena lover episode, and honestly, it's exactly what I was expecting. I just got the wrong Hawkeye.
Yeah, well, don't count that out just yet, you know.
Oh, so, no, but I was just for this one episode, I was like, right, they're going to introduce her at the end of one episode, then they're going to have a big conversation with Clint in the next one, and then they go back to doing whatever else. And it's just kind of like, we're going to talk to Kate Bishop for 30 minutes. I ain't complaining in the slightest. It's exactly, I wanted that.
Yeah, I love that.
Like, I love that. Fun to have her and Kate. Like,
I love the scene. Florence Pugh nails it every time.
I just love how she says hi when she catches that ball. I was like, huh?
Just like, she there's not a huge deviation from the character from the Black Widow, but she injects some of that.
I say you can tell that she's slightly older because she looks more like Natasha in this one, which I found really interesting. Sitting in the apartment, it's like you got like the rings, the hair's all down. She looked more like Nat did in I think it was Endgame. Like she looked a bit like weathered, I suppose is the term for it.
Well, I mean, considering the fact, I mean, if we want to go back to, I think we might have skipped a very important part of this episode with her, I think that was at the beginning.
The blipping, which hands down my favorite perspective of the blip.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I love
we've had Homecoming,
the WandaVision one.
WandaVision 1. WandaVision 1 was interesting because it wasn't like a perspective.
Yeah, that I think every version of that scene is good, but I think
I've enjoyed them all. This is hands down my favorite.
Yeah, it really honed in on the experience of the first person perspective of what happened. 1 minute you're going into put water in your face, and the next minute
it's literally just seconds.
5 million, 5 years from now, and what I loved about the scene is them actually showing the change from
the walls dusting as well to go to change color. Yeah, that was nice. Yeah,
I mean, I think that captured the true feeling of happening that way, and it gave us the answer of, did she get blipped? So yes.
Which personally, I think it's kind of obvious she got blipped.
Yeah, I mean, but it at least puts a exclamation mark on yes.
I mean, it's nice. It's nice to have it. It's nice to have it confirmed that yes, she was blipped. But it's one of those. it's not like a Captain Marvel where you can have Brie Larson in the 90s and have her in the 2000s, the 2010s, and have her be the same. It's like, oh, of course she hasn't aged that much. She's literally superpower. She's virtually immortal. But someone like Florence Pugh, where you're introducing them, it's a nice, cheap, not in a bad way, cheap, easy way of getting them from A to B without having to age them up. And or have it be weird. You know, you haven't got this 30-year-old Tobey Maguire playing a high school kid. Right? You haven't got that situation going. No.
Yeah. Well, plus it makes sense because like she has no knowledge of if Nat was alive or not. You know, like, and it gives it that scene at the end a little bit more of Black Widow, a little bit more context to the fact, you know, like, you know, it I mean, again,
Though
you know,
it
like,
kind of, I'm not sure if contradicts the right word, because the ending of Black Widow, you have Val being like, "Hey, look, here's the guy that killed your sister." But obviously it was the Ronin suit then. Like, did she say Clint Barton in that movie?
No, she knows who Clint is though. She knew who Clint was.
Yeah, but does Val say Clint Barton killed Natasha in Black Widow? I can't remember.
I'm sure Chad can give us but like,
I'll say someone.
Even if she didn't, like, it's not like she doesn't know who Clint is.
No, but it makes sense because in this she's like, oh, just to jump about because that's what I do best. At the end, she's like, oh, hey, look, I found out who hired me to come after Clint. But the Black Widow movie kind of indicates that Val's telling her to go after Clint. So is that a contradiction or is that part of the plot? Are we framing Kate's mum here? I know you can't say it one way or another, but I've literally just my brain's only figured this out right here on the spot. So you're getting a look at how my head works.
I mean, look,
because if it's a contradiction, it's a massive oversight to have something like that. And to me, that's like that doesn't happen in these things. No.
Yeah, I mean, I could say that the attention to detail for these shows and movies are pretty impeccable. So, I mean, up to this point, you know, like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't like intend. I wasn't fishing for an answer for that one.
I plead the fifth.
He didn't have to like try and dance around broken glass.
I don't. You know, it is an interesting question because, like, I mean, considering how this show, the episode ends, you kind of question, like, damn, does this guy have? He has that much. He has that much power. You know.
Jesus.
But I mean, you never know. I mean, like, the character that you see at the end of this episode isn't necessarily the same from the previous show. So, you know, you never know, man. You don't know. I mean,
I'd say it's either the directors or the writers of Hawkeye. I'm like, oh yeah, find out next week if Daredevil's canon. I'm like, don't do that. Like, you just given him back. Do not rip everything away, please.
But yeah, to go back to the Yelena thing,
fantastic.
It was a great scene, you know. Like it shows. It shows the great chemistry between the two actors.
Yeah,
and,
I always knew I wanted these two on screen, but it's like I've always been like, no, I need Kate and Cassie. That's the dynamic I need, and that's the dynamic I want. Now I'm like, just throw in Yelena in it. Let's just have the three, have the trio, whatever. Like, but obviously you're gonna have to have Kate and Yelena because the Hawkeye and the Black Widow is kind of the thing. The Hawk and the Spider go together. So.
The interesting thing about Yelena is like, you know, she's always got a playfulness to her. She's always been playful in, like, I mean, it was introduced in the movie Black Widow, and like you can see a lot of growth from then to now. Like, she has no problem doing superhero poses, and she's almost like she's almost like what Ronin was in Endgame, where she's just kind of like a robot. Not robot, but she's got one singular goal, you know, is to accomplish whatever.
She's very tunnel visioned at the minute.
Yeah, at the minute, yeah, and like, but you still see that playfulness, that she had in previous incarnations of like her character, before the blip. But it's like kind of cynical now, a little bit more cynical, and like,
Yeah.
but it works though. It only works because it's Florence Pugh doing it. Like like yeah, man, yeah, she's such a great actress. And like
It's such a get. Every time she's on screen as Yelena, it's just like, oh, what a
yeah,
cast. What a casting.
I seen online one time, and like it really disturbed me when I seen it. It's like she's too fat to be. It's like,
Oh,
no, she's I what
the
like
what?
I instantly muted that conversation because like I don't want to have that conversation because for like by all intents and purposes it's just a chubby. She's got that's her face structure, but like she
Yeah,
pulls
she's
like
got she's a slightly rounder face than
yeah.
yeah.
And but like and the conversation went like, couldn't they get anybody else for this? I was like, no, there was
No.
nobody else for this.
No. No.
Nobody else. And mute, delete from the conversation. Bye bye.
Uh,
Like I don't want to be perpetuating that conversation. So
no.
you can have it by yourself. Yeah, she's a sweetheart. One of the nicest people. I've only talked to her once, but like every time that time that I talked to her, it was like such a pleasant experience, and she's all game for everything that they want her to do.
Hmm.
It's
Part
like
of me, I'm part of me is sad though because I know full well it might not be the next appearance or like in projects I just not appearance because we know she's literally in next week's in the finale. But like
mm,
she's eventually gonna lose that accent, and I'm like, I kind of
you never know. I mean,
it
that accent should be there.
like me and I mean we're talking about this in the commentary. It's just like if she can keep the Russianisms but
I
sound
think
more American, like I could maybe live with that. But
I love
I
the
need
accent.
an accent to stay. Like
I I love the wording every time she talks. It's not. I mean, I know a couple of Russian friends, and like I showed them that, and like, is this offensive? It's like no, like this
no,
is the
because
close.
it's
Like
just how you know
David
it's.
Harbour's is a little bit more like
Oh yeah,
comedic,
Harbor's definitely that. I'm the commie Russian. Like,
but like I think it's a part of her charm of the character is like that
yeah.
accent, and like
Also, the fact
she's
that
I don't
he's older is like, yeah, that's it's
yeah.
kind of got to go.
But like I love how she still has that like the accent and like it's just it works okay and like
Yeah,
I don't think it's gonna be lost in any.
I hope
I think
not.
it's
'Cause
always gonna be there,
I it
even if it's slowly kind of like trims down. It's
it
always
can.
gonna be there.
There's that thing of like your accent can change due to your surroundings and the people you like, the
It's
country, people you with.
it's not
Like,
gonna be a Wanda change, but like it's gonna change a little
no, like even the
bit.
one, even the Wonder One kind of
Yeah,
makes sense, and it's nice that they're slowly bringing it back in.
yeah.
Like when she
I
gets
mean,
mad, like she's really devolved. Like it's a nice little character beat. But Yelena is their problem is they attached the charm of that character to that accent. I feel. Like, I
I
don't know
mean,
if Yelena would be as like adorable and charming if she didn't have that accent.
I don't know. I'll respectfully disagree on that.
Well, she
I think,
obviously like the character because it wouldn't be the same
yeah.
character, right? The way she talks and the way she acts, like that Russian is literally
Yeah, I honestly, I think it's just the way she. I think, yeah, I think it would be the same character. I think it's just, I think the accent kind of lends the playfulness to it
yeah.
of the
Yeah.
conversation, and like it's just
Because
the
like
words.
a person that can talk perfect English talking about the macaroni and cheese, I don't think would have worked. I think that
Yeah,
100% works because she has that accent.
I mean, as far as I know, the accent's not going anywhere.
Yeah, that's
And
what I hope because it's I
but
don't know
like,
it
well,
it hits it makes it elevates the
yeah,
script for me that the accent it really
it will it change a little bit? Yeah, I mean,
yeah
like it happens to everybody that lives in America or an English speaking
yeah
predominant area. Like like if you live in an area for a long time, you start adopting those traits and the personality and the way you
mm,
speak. Like you don't always speak like if you're in America for so long, you end up having Americanism,
Yeah.
kind of injected
And
into
in
it.
fact,
So
I talk to Americans daily and weekly. I'm
yeah,
guilty of it. It's just like,
I
oh,
mean,
I end up saying things certain ways, and it's like, God damn
yeah,
it. I've
but
devolved.
yeah, but I love the conversation about like you can see the like with Yelena, you can see the wheel turning in her head like every time she
Yeah.
talks and asks a question.
It's
Like you can see,
calculated.
yeah, and you can see Kate going, "I don't buy this. What's going on?" Like
Mm.
it's kind of like a chess game between the two in a comedic way almost. And then I love the exit. It's on brand of just looking at you and falling backwards.
Yeah,
Onto the zip
I
line.
really, really like this grapple hook.
Yeah, it's
It's a, there's something about it.
it's
It's
great
just,
entrance.
it
Great exit.
really lends itself to Yelena. Like,
Yeah.
it's,
Well, plus it's like she's making her like it's her own thing. Like this is what she
yeah,
does. Like this is how she fights. The fighting. It's not like Nat's fighting. You look at her fighting, it looks like a more evolved version of what she was doing in the movie, in the
mm.
Black Widow movie. It's more streamlined and evolved and
So it's
like
more
and she,
surgical.
yeah, but she's almost paying homage to Nat in some ways with
I
certain
say
mannerisms
definitely,
and stuff like
definitely
that.
with the style, and I
Yeah,
did have to laugh because the second outfit you see her in, not the one when she's at Kate's apartment, one when she's following Eleanor, she
yeah,
looks like Scarlett Johansson out of
yeah,
Don John,
yeah,
which is like all New Jerseyed up, and it's like, yeah,
yeah.
that's Don John
Plus,
ScarJo right there.
plus she has a new vest. I mean, it's
She does.
the,
She does.
the
I'll
vest
be
is making a
perfectly
return.
honest. I'm not sure if I said this last week actually, but it took me a while to realize it's not the same vest.
Yeah,
I was
I
like,
mean,
hang
she
on,
got
what? Like my brain desperately trying to point out continuity errors, and it's like that's one. It's like, oh no, wait, it's not the same vest. I'll let it off. No,
yeah. It's Yelena. That's the character of
yeah,
Yelena. Like
I
that's and it the best part is like it's distinct from the comic version too. So like in so
see.
many
I
ways, but
found I found this very in line with the comic, or at least like the Splinter Cell goggles and the black
yeah.
light. That was
Well,
absolutely like Yelena from the book. Like,
yeah, yeah. Of course, because she's a part of a group, and like she's got toys, like now she can play with, so
but like even like the jacket she has,
yeah,
or the vest, I should say, not the jacket, but like it has an element of Yelena's suit from the comics because like, she always had like these weird lines, like these organic,
yeah,
weird like
yeah.
twisty lines, and like the vest has that, and I
It,
appreciate that.
and rest assured, and I don't know if it's coming, but she will have a costume. She will have a superhero
I
costume.
mean, I really like the
I like
white
the white. Yeah,
because
but
I think Yelena had white in the books at one point. I can't
yeah, I
remember.
mean, I think the White Widow thing.
Yeah,
I don't know, but
I can't remember. I know one of them did. Obviously, Nat had
oh
it more recently, and
yeah,
that's where they got it from the movie. But I know I want to say Yelena was more predominantly white, but I kind of like just that look for Yelena. Obviously, it's going to change and evolve, but it's like I kind of like the baggy,
so
more tactical and practical look. Like I think it
yeah,
separates her from being like
Nat, yeah.
not Nat.
So one question um,
Hmm?
so I guess Clint owns Pizza Dog, or is it, who actually owns Pizza? Who takes care of
I
Pizza?
just assumed that it's just a dog that gets passed around at this point.
I
Like it's
yeah, I was
Kate
like,
because Kate, the Kate had the dog originally, and it's just like is she just like just passing this? Is that going like on like the ongoing
or
thing? Like
maybe
just
that was an
pass this dog
excuse just to
around.
get. Maybe it's just an excuse to find get on the Clint.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
But yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah,
assume Kate ends up with the dog.
yeah, yeah, she does. He doesn't go back to the farm. Um, but so this episode kind of reaffirms the the watch thing a little bit more, right? You think that confirms that Laura knows more than
Oh,
she is
100%. Yeah.
letting on.
This is like it. Just say you're Mockingbird. God damn it! Like come on.
Yeah,
I just spit it out.
it I love the fact that the show gives her a little bit more character. Even though she's not really on screen, but it still kind of like adds to the
I mean,
mythology.
again, she's doubled her screen time
Yeah.
from the previous movie. So.
Who knows? She could be, getting a Hot Toys or something because.
I mean, I'm fully expecting like a Mockingbird flashback in Hot Toys to be like, "Hey, here you go."
Yep,
No,
yep.
we made it.
But
And it
yeah,
would still come out before the damn Eternals figures get suddenly announced. Like,
yeah. Well, Hot Toys, they're
it's
notoriously.
never gonna happen.
It's gonna
I hate
happen.
this timeline. Hate it. Where's my damn Cersei and Icarus? I need it.
Um.
But back to
So where do you
Hawkeye.
want? So where do you want to go next on this?
I mean, there's only really one way you can go.
Yeah. The reveal.
It's which I'm gonna be perfectly honest. For a
Mhm.
character like that, I wouldn't have shown the picture. I think the picture's a bit. I don't.
There was a reason why the aesthetic choice of that was like it was just like a con on video. Like it's like
Yeah, but it's.
I think it it's like the little teaspoon fed of like
It's
this
one
is
of
what we
those. I think it should have been the start of the last episode, so you can then just jump straight to him. I think on its own, separately as an ending, it's a little bit of a. Don't take this in the wrong way. It's a bit of a lame reveal, personally. It's
I
just like,
loved
oh,
it.
you showed him in a picture. Really? Like
Yeah, but you're
like everyone knows it's him. We all know
yeah,
he's coming. You could have
it's just
had that, do the intro to the show, cut straight to D'Onofrio, and bam.
you're just salty about the fact that
I look. The deal with Nick was that he's in it from start to finish in the 5th episode. Mans was not.
nah.
Therefore, Nick lost. I don't.
It,
Nick is a
it,
coward. He has not stuck to the bet.
it,
Yeah.
it, it's the same with Jared, guessing that Kang was the was in the
Yeah.
show.
Yeah. Yeah.
I get it, yeah, but like I
He was not in this episode. No,
was not in the
he's literally physically not in here. He's
yes.
data.
It's
But
it's not it's not Price is Right rules, Nick. It's
no,
had to, you got nothing.
I'm
Sorry.
gonna be calling him out every week on the dot now. No.
It's like he was not in the beginning, or he was technically wasn't even in the end.
No.
Let's put it this way.
No.
He was a picture.
Yeah.
But yeah, I on it for me, I love that reveal. I thought it was just like I think for the show, I thought it worked because it's like
I mean, my thing is,
it's
it would work if it was the start of an episode.
I liked it because it was the end because it was like it was built. It felt like it was building towards that, anyways.
I mean, it is, but like,
and this is how, this is how that the way it was revealed, it made sense because Yelena was following her. It's like
I mean, it absolutely makes sense, but you could. I don't know. It feels like the perfect spot to have ended that episode was just like Kate saying, like, I know, like, it is, or whatever she says at the end, like, before you see that picture, like, you just cut it off right there. Like, who's this with my mum? That's what she says. And then you just cut it there. And then you pick up straight away. Like,
but I do love the fact that Kingpin came out of Clint's mouth.
Oh,
the look on his face was like, oh god.
It just felt right. It's like, yes, it's fine.
And this was like conversation behind the scene. It was nice to hear. It was kind of validation in a way because like everybody kept saying like these street level characters don't make a difference. It don't care. It doesn't matter. But then like you have you can say that Clint's an A-list hero because his name's on a plaque in New York, with a part of like the Avengers. And just the fact that the word Kingpins came out of his mouth and the look on his face was like, oh, great, we have to deal with this. The look on his face was like, it wasn't like, oh, I can take care of it. This is no problem. This was like, oh, okay. I didn't really want it to come to this, but we're going to have to do this.
Yeah. And he's a threat because he's clearly been around here for the 5 years.
Bro.
in the blip, and he's untouchable. So it's
And
like
it's gonna be
exactly
interesting.
how, like, is it like a reform, like the quote reform sort of Kingpin, where he's acting like he is, but he's secretly playing everyone, or is it
I
just
will.
like there's a massive power vacuum here, I'm grabbing it all? Like,
All I can say is interesting. This is the only word I can say it to describe how they insert this
yeah,
character,
because
Kingpin into
I cannot wait. If D'Onofrio does not say when I was a boy in this damn episode, I'm gonna. This entire show was for nothing, and it was a waste. Sorry,
and
Steinfeld, but hang out.
did you like the look from
I
what you
mean,
saw?
it's literally it's
The
straight up.
cane.
It's like he just picked the Netflix suit up. He's like, "Yep, cool, that's mine."
Well, and added something new to the.
Yeah, he's got. I need someone to get clocked over the head with that cane,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like smack. Hope
I gotta tell
make
you,
it
like,
Clint. Don't do it to Yelena or Kay. I couldn't live with that. But just clock Clint over the head with it. Like,
I mean, Clint can take it.
exactly.
He's a,
He's a
but
big man.
yeah, all I can say about this character coming back, it was a long 2 years of just
Yeah.
beating a drum behind the scene. I think I got tired of saying Vincent D'Onofrio and Charlie Cox. Um, it. I think, yeah. I mean, it's pretty. I said the word Charlie Cox, and I'm sure people that haven't seen the movie yet, but like I'm out. I'm saying it. I don't care. I'm tired of hiding it.
It's everywhere. It's
You
everywhere.
know, yeah, it
Put
was.
it this way, with the amount of money that movie's making, everyone's already seen it.
Yeah, I
Also, it's going out until Monday or maybe
okay,
Tuesday, so it'd be the weekend. Everyone would have seen it. It's fine.
but yeah, that was. I mean, to say the very very little, it was very emotional stuff for me because it's like the characters that are introduced in this show and the movie gave me everything I want, everything that I have now. Like it wasn't just like those characters aren't just my favorite characters of all time, and I know a lot of people say that, but I have the merchandise to prove it. I have every Frank Miller, every Daredevil, the poopy ones and the whatever. It's just like that's one of my favorite characters, and
Yeah.
like it was an emotional crescendo for me to see
I'll
all
say
that happen.
it was such a surreal Wednesday for me,
Yes.
and I part of me's yeah, it's not. I feel sorry for people, but like not everyone got them both back on the same day. Like it was
Yeah.
the same week, yeah, but like I had that experience within hours of each other. Like literally, I got up. Immediately, I got up late because I'm an idiot. Watched Hawkeye, went out and watched Spider-Man, came back,
Yeah.
watched Hawkeye again because I was like, I need to see it again. It's
Yeah.
like, I want to watch it again. And it's just
Yeah.
like it, as you said, like it was such a long wait.
Yeah.
And you heard
And
all this stuff of like, oh, Feige hates them and never coming back. No, no, no.
yeah.
And it's like, no, they just wait. They're gonna
Like
do it. Like it's just
uh,
biding your
it's
time at this point, and then it actually coming back. It's just like,
yeah.
oh, it was surreal. It was very
Yeah.
surreal having them both back.
Oh no, yeah. That's an understatement for me too, because it's just
Oh,
like
definitely.
like it I would use a really, really weird and I'm sure like if anybody Vincent ever hears this, he's gonna be kind of creeped out hearing it. But it was almost feeling like it was giving birth to a baby, for me, because it was
Yeah, it's
like
a
these
weird
are
analogy. Yeah.
but it makes sense, because I I started my career, seriously started my career on those shows,
Mm.
and like seeing them from that time, from the very first get go, and then seeing it now, and it's like I. Yeah, I mean, no lie, I shed a little tears, man. I got the feels, because it's like you're seeing your kids grow up almost in a way, and it's like, like I'm not the only person behind the scenes was helping to do this, but like it was more important for me to do it.
Yeah.
Everybody loved it, but it's like I made it my mission to just I'm sorry, to say
That's
those
getting cut out.
names.
Yeah, that's 2 weeks in a row. That's getting cut out.
To say those names and keep that recognition, alive. And like, look, I'm not saying that we were the sole people that did it. I'll give you guys, the fans, all the credit in the world, because like you kept that that seed alive, in with like the Save Daredevil campaign, and like it just, I gotta say, it's like the Daredevil Netflix stuff fans are probably one of the most respectful fan bases out there. Like you look at the Snyder people and then the Raimi people, it's all vitriol, it's all venom, it's like they don't get it their way. They go nuts and try to ruin people, for it. But like, I've never ever encountered that with Daredevil fans. It was, it helped. You guys helped a lot. Trying to like keep that notice alive. And like, I know everybody felt like it was like almost like it's never gonna happen. It's 3 years, 4 years, whatever. But like, stuff was moving behind the scenes and things were being done. It's just like it's a logistical nightmare when you're dealing with another company and the rights to these characters. So there was needed to be time to get this done. But like we're now here. We're almost we're at the finish line for this phase of that race. And like
I mean, it is the finish line because they're here.
Yeah, I mean, it's a finish line for this phase of the race. There's another 4K going. Like for those characters, but like it's just nice to now be able to talk about it more openly. And like it's just nice to see it, man. Like I feel like I get emotional every time I talk about it, because it's like it sounds kind of weird, but it's
it's personal, isn't it? Like,
it's a very personal thing. And like I'm just happy that now we
they're
have
back.
it back. Yeah, we have it back, and it's not going anywhere. Like
no, it is the fattest dub I think Marvel's
Cox is gonna live in. D'Onofrio and Cox are gonna probably die as these characters.
I hope not, because that would be horrendous.
No. But they are perfect perfect fit for those characters, and like I would not see it any other way.
They deserve that big like MCU mainstream.
Yeah, more love for the Netflix, casting.
Let's be honest, like they are the original Marvel, well, not the original Marvel, but like the original big Marvel shows.
They were the foundation for what you guys see on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Whatever you're seeing on Disney Plus, those guys, those actors, those characters, the people that work behind the scenes, the productions, the directors, the writers, they laid the foundation for what you're seeing on Disney Plus right now. Like this is, and I feel like this is the respect that they deserve. Like the
100%.
Charlie Coxes and the Vincent D'Onofrios, they deserve to be here in those roles, and they want to be here. That's the more important thing, is like they want to be here, and they're fans of what was done. And I mean, to some extent, made Cox a Daredevil fan. He, like there have been times when they were in Netflix, when they were filming Netflix stuff, that he would go to like Midtown Comics and like Forbidden Planet and like just buy that stuff, and because he loved the character so much now, and like it's just an emotional roller coaster for a lot of people, and including the fans. But hey, thanks guys, means a lot. It means a lot. It may not be said, but it means a lot to me and everybody that worked to get that done, because it did do a lot, of positive things, because it could have gone the other way. Like if it went the Snyder route, it probably would have been a harder, thing to sell, So, but like, it wasn't. It happened, and thank you.
I just can't wait. Because the suit, at least going back to the show now, like the suit Kingpin was wearing looks like it's literally just the same. Like they in the auction for the suits, they literally just brought one, and it's like, we're gonna keep this and put it in the show.
Well, I mean, like
I kind of hope it's just not shiny, because that's my only thing with his suit. The white was really shiny. for like a more matte look, but
like, you know, a lot of that stuff, you know, that was sold on the props, like, I mean, they had like hundreds of those versions of that
yeah, it's
suit, you know.
1,000
So
copies and 4 are sold. Like,
I mean, they had. I mean, I bought one of the Daredevil costumes a while back, and like that was like one of like I don't know 50. You
yeah.
know, like some are made for stunt work, some are made for practical use for just the actor to act in. You know, so like, but like you know, from here on in, you don't expect a lot of the Netflix stuff to kind of it's gonna be kind
It's
of an
a pick.
amalgamation.
It's a bit of a pick and choose.
Yeah. So, you know, I say just be patient and like, you know, like it like he's here, man. He's
Wait
not
till Netflix lose the shows, and then we can act like things happen.
it's gonna happen eventually. And like Cox and D'Onofrio are signed, man. Like they're not going anywhere. It's just, you know,
It's
like
a happy week for everyone.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
even
honestly.
it's in the grand scheme of things, it didn't really affect Spider-Man, but it's like it's just nice. It's a nice thing
I
to
mean,
have there.
I mean, who's to say it doesn't have future, you
I
know,
mean, in the future, obviously, yes, but like I'm just saying,
it,
like in the
it
grand
doesn't
scheme of that
affect
movie, like it
yeah.
didn't. You could take that out and nothing changes. Like, but it's
Yeah,
a
I
nice
mean,
thing to have happen. Like
yeah,
it's just a thing that can happen now. Like he's
yeah.
here.
So when they decided to do that, like it was like yeah, I mean, you could do the whole story without Matt Murdock being in that movie. You know, it was just like, I think it was more of a, like, Merry Christmas, here's your gift, you know, from
Yeah.
Marvel Studios. You know, like
Yeah.
we can take. I mean, that character could have been any district attorney whatsoever.
I
You
mean,
know,
it could
like
have
it could have
easily
been
been She-Hulk.
could have. I mean, it could have been Joe Schmo. Who knows? I don't know. You
Yeah.
know, it
Yeah.
could have been anybody. But it made sense for the character. It's an easy entrance for the character to be reintroduced,
Yeah.
and like it's just it's like more of a present. Like, hey, we are listening to you, the fans. You know, this is for you. You know, like this is what we wanted. You gave us so much. Now we're giving you back a little bit more. You know, so it's just the cherry on top, if
Yeah.
anything.
But yeah, Hawkeye is.
Yeah, man.
I can't wait till Wednesday for
The,
the
yeah,
finale.
I think I think this show is funny to me because a lot of people were like kind of pawning it off as like, oh, it's just Hawkeye.
I mean,
Okay,
at the end of the day, let's be honest, it is just Hawkeye.
yeah,
Like,
but like they picked a great run to pick from, and like also it. I know, this
again,
show
in fairness, it is Hawkeye. What other runs have they got to go off of?
is true, but like the show, I think the show, man, the show just surprised a lot. I think
It's not trying to be anything it's not. It
yeah, and
understands
it's
exactly what it's about, and it's just doing it really well.
yeah, and of all the shows, and look, I love all the shows, like unbiasedly, but like I think this show is given like it's just like it's created more. It's given back what like look at Jeremy Renner giving like say what you will about him as a person, but that he's given the character a lot for and
Yeah.
he gotten very little back, in return. Um, like I said, like months ago, like these shows are like, hey, thank you very much for doing what, like little you've done. You've done a lot for the story and the narrative and like the movies. And no, we know we haven't gotten to your character as much as we wanted to, but this is like, hey, let's take the time and use the platform to develop these characters that haven't been developed throughout the movies that are just as interesting as any of the
Hmm.
three main characters that the movies were focused on. So, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I love Captain America and I love Thor, but like, WandaVision was more personal and like it. I think it was more of a. I don't
I
know.
tell you, the movies are action, the shows are character.
character. Yeah, that's a good analogy. I'm terrible at words. I'm not a wordsmith.
Yeah, like giving birth to Charlie Cox and
It's true.
D'Onofrio. Like
Yeah,
giving
if
birth
that,
to D'Onofrio alone. I apologize.
if that ever
He's a
gets
big
out,
man. He's a big man.
if that ever, like, honestly, if that ever soundbite ever gets out, I'm sure.
It's a good thing I haven't got
So
a
if
sound.
so you've given birth to me, right? It's like, it's a metaphor.
I'm gonna
man.
tag him because he sees every
Yeah.
tweet you tag him.
He's a great guy. Like, yeah,
I'm
it's
so
good.
glad that the rumors of him having like prosthetics made to be look bigger and all this were a load of crap. Thank
Yeah,
God.
you know,
Because you don't
that
need any of that crap.
no,
You just need Vinny D, and that's all.
dude, it's that guy is perfect the way he was. There was no need to change him. No need to put some weird.
The only change
Personality.
I'd be accepting of is if they did like the Hobbit, Lord of the Ring, or not Hobbit, like the Lord of the Rings perspective stuff, where it's like we're gonna make him look bigger than he actually is compared to everyone else, and like it's literally just a big D'Onofrio. But
yeah, I like that idea, but I think
obviously
again,
not like Gandalf to Frodo size different. Like that's but just like just make it like maybe like Michael Clark Duncan size. Like
I guarantee.
Slightly.
What if you put him next to Jeremy Renner? You know, like he is that. So Jeremy Renner's a short guy.
I mean, I don't know how big. I don't know why. In my head, D'Onofrio's really small.
Yeah, I mean, he's a big guy in real life.
Like obviously not like Danny DeVito small. Like you know, just slightly. And I don't know why I have that in my head. He always comes across like a little guy.
Yeah, he's not. He's not a little guy. Yeah.
How tall is Vincent D'Onofrio? I need to know this.
I'm not sure, but I'm short, so everybody's taller than me. So. But like, yeah.
Oh no, that's Vincent Vaughn. I'm about to say, God damn, he's dude's a giant. Christ.
Yeah, that's too different.
Oh, apparently, there's no way he's the same height. 1.9 meters. Jesus, he's a giant. He's huge.
Yeah, he's a big guy. I mean,
he's at 6'5". What?
Yeah. He, like, look at his.
Oh, he's 6'4".
Like,
I was in
Full Metal Jacket. Like, if you see him in Full Metal Jacket, that's a pretty good perspective. Like, he's around a lot of normal people, man. He kind of towers over. Like, man,
he really. I honestly never knew he was a tall guy. I always. I don't know why in my head I'm like, no, it makes sense for him to be like 5'9" or something. Like, dude's tiny.
he's
I say 5'9" is tiny. That's only like 3 inches shorter than I am. But like, you know, on the shorter side. Right,
but yeah, he's a pretty big guy. I mean, and then you add the girth. You know, he's not like they do pat him a little bit in the show, just a little bit. You know, but like it's pretty much him. He's about 90% him. Yeah, the prosthetic thing. Look, man, that would be ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. If they cannot add anything to his look that would make it any better. Then, like,
the only thing they can do is make the suit color accurate.
I mean, who's to say that never happens?
I mean, I'm not saying it's not ever going to happen.
Making a comeback, so
it's just like, you know, how if he showed up in fact, you know, he very well could in episode 6. I don't know. Like, it could be an old picture, but you know, just having him with like the orange, was it an orange waistcoat he had on?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, like the orange and the green and the purple with the white, like that's the only thing.
Chef's kiss.
Yeah, be spot on, especially with the cane. Like that's the Willy Fisk right there.
Yeah, don't say Willy Fisk.
No, I'm going to say Willy Fisk. Like,
little weird.
If you got Vinny D, you got Willy F. Like, there you go.
But yeah, well, Merry Christmas, everybody, on that.
Yeah,
you know.
It's without a question. Like they're back. No one can deny it now. They are firmly back.
Thankfully, I can talk freely about it more. So,
But now we're gonna wrap this up.
Yeah.
And hopefully it'll be out on Monday morning, I assume.
If not, sorry.
If not, be Tuesday. You'll get over it. But yeah, it's the season finale, unfortunately, next time. So I'm gonna absolutely get Jared back.
You're gonna. It's a big one, man. It's a big one.
I hope so.
to pull out.
But speaking of it, like I'm surprised that the marketing for this was all episode 1, 2, and 6.
Yeah.
Like nothing in the middle. It's all like, oh, here's the final episode. Here's the first 2.
Yeah.
Like,
And
it's really like compared to the other shows marketing, where it's always like the first like 2. It's like okay, interesting.
and I just stick around. There might be I don't.
Well, they damn
quote
well
me on
better be like
Might be a
if it's
post-credits
not
scene.
Vincent D'Onofrio like staring at that damn painting,
Mm.
then 0 out of 10.
Yeah. Yeah, there might be a post credits scene.
So yeah, we'll catch you all next time. Bye bye.
Bye bye.